I'm so sorry for not uploading last week Friday. I was sick. Wednesdays and Fridays are days I do upload videos on my YouTube channel. So on today's video, we're going to be talking about the border you should never cross, which is the North and South Cyprus. So why am I saying that you should never cross this border? Thank you for coming back. Firstly, before we say anything, when I said, oh, North and South Cyprus is a border I should never cross, this is for people that have the question in their mind that, should I cross the border? It's not for people that they cross the border without a choice. And before I dive into the reasons why I said you should never cross it, there's something I also have to sort out first, which is, when you once you cross to the South Cyprus, you become illegal, and the only way to become legal is by going to the refugee camp owned and sponsored by the United Nations in South Cyprus. So, what are the reasons why I said you should never cross the North and South Cyprus border? Number one reason why is because it is dangerous. So, what do I mean by it is very, very dangerous? Yeah, I know 100 of your friends have crossed the border successful and nothing happened to them. They were able to get to the refugee camp. But that doesn't mean that you're going to also be fortunate like them. If you're unfortunate like them, there are three sets of people you're going to encounter, which is number one is the military, number two is the police, number three is the woman traffickers. And at the end of either of them you encounter, you're going to be landing yourself in trouble. Number one, if you encounter the military, why do I say that? Oh, you're going to encounter the military. These military men are protecting the South Cyprus border. They're always there 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter the weather, whether it's winter, summer, or spring, they're always at the border and they have the right to shoot you. So once they shoot, they sight you trying to enter their country illegal, they have the right to shoot you. And if they shoot you, there is nobody that can query them. And number two, which is the police people, these people do not have the right to shoot you, but they have the right to arrest you. And once they arrest you, you know you're going to end up in jail. And number three, the woman traffickers. I don't need to say much about these people because you are also aware where you will likely end up in. So, what is the second reason why I said you should never? Is the status change. I mean, in life, you're going to be changing your status. I mean, in life, we all think of moving forward. Now, when you're in North Cyprus, you either enter North Cyprus with a work permit or with a student permit. Now, if you cross over to the South Cyprus, you are going to be given. When I told you that you have to enter the UN camp, the refugee camp, for you to become legal, and so you entering the refugee camp means that you become a refugee. Like you move from student visa to refugee permit. You're going to stay in the camp for 2 weeks or a month while the United Nations process your refugee card that can allow you to stay in South Cyprus legally. So that means you are going to be, and this is a tent you are going to be living in. Don't think it's a house. It's a tent, not a house. And imagine you staying in a tent for 30 days. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Don't even think of doing it. And then you're not even moving forward. You're moving from a student permit to a refugee. So what is the third reason why I said you should never, never, ever cross the border? The third reason is shelter. I told you that it's going to take between 14 days and 30 days for the UN to be able to process your refugee permit card. And so once you get it, they will release you. And then once they release you, you have to start looking for shelter. See, it's not like there's house crisis in South Cyprus. There's no house crisis. But the problem is that it's your card. It's the permit you have. You have a refugee permit, which it's a permit that makes landlord or even estate managers wary. Why are they wary? Your only source of income is the allowance you're going to be getting from the UN, and they know that it's not enough to sort out your bills. So they know that, you're going to be having problem trying to sort out your bills. I'm sorry, somebody's like, okay, I'll get a job when I get there. I'm smart. I'm smart. I'm sure you're smart. You're intelligent. But the problem is that they are also aware that the possibility of you getting a job is zero. So what is the possibility of you getting a job? That leads us to the fourth reasons why I said you should never, never cross the border, which is the ladder of the hierarchy of employment. This is it. Look at it. This hierarchy of employment, the first set of people are the citizens of that country. The second one are the for people who came with work permits. The third set of people are people who came with students visa and they intend to work during their break. And then the third person, the fourth on the ladder, it is you, the refugee or the asylum seeker. So that means that the job you can easily get are jobs that all these people do not want. That is a job you can get. And so that means that you don't even have a choice. And then that means it's see, and then the worst part is that the minimum wage rate, it doesn't cover you. It covers people that they are the top ladder of the employment. That is why the landlords and estate manager are always wearing giving houses to refugee or asylum seeker. So what is the last reason? And this is bringing us to the last reason, which is almost the end, which is the end of this video, which is you have to sit your seats, like lack of freedom. I mean, all of us all want freedom. What do I mean by lack of freedom? You have to, when I told you that, you're going to stay in North Cyprus for 2 weeks or a month before you can be issued a student permit. So I'm sure somebody's wondering, so how will I be able to, when will I be able to leave Cyprus? You can only leave North Cyprus legally, as in come in and go as you like, after 5 years when the UN grants you your residential permits that can allow you to come and go. So why is it taking that long? Why is the UN taking 5 years for them to issue you a resident permit? Number one, they need to verify the story you told them at the UN. Like when you enter the refugee camp, you told them a story, they'll ask you what brought you to the camp. So you told them a story. That story needs to be verified. Number two, do you know how many refugees, how many asylum seekers they deal with? Like it's huge. You can't even imagine it. So the workload is much. So that is why it takes this long. That is why it's taking this long. And then the third reason why it's taking this long is they also need to study. Apart from them verifying your story, once you're in the refugee camp till you leave, and even while you are living in South Cyprus, the UN are always watching you. They're always watching whether you're a criminal, you're just pretending not to be one. They are watching if you deserve, if you qualify to get a residential permit. So it's after then, that's when they'll issue you your residential permit. So that means that if you make a mistake, or let's just imagine you and your girlfriend fought, and then you're taken to police, that means automatically you won't be getting your residential permit. So imagine staying there for 5 years, and at the end of the day, you didn't get your residential permit. That means you cannot even live. You're not sure when you'll be able to live.